That's cool. Can we sync audio?
Released? Yes. Sorry, David.
No, you're fine. I just want to sync audio so I can do it.
Yes.
All right, I will say 1, Christian will say 2, Tessa will say 3, I'll say 4, Christian says 5, Tessa says 6, I will say, and now clap, and then we clap.
At 3 different times.
Yeah.
You clap after I've said, now clap.
I'm sorry, do we clap on 1 or 3?
Yeah. Yes.
1.
Oh.
Let's do it again. Let's stop. Or do it again.
I thought you were answering Tessa's question.
Yes.
Oh, no. 1,
2,
3,
4,
5,
6.
and now clap.
Hello, friends. This is Christian Razor, and you're listening to the Misconceptions podcast.
Well, our team is dropping like flies, and let me tell you, when I thought about our team to begin with, Fae and Esther are not the 2 I thought would still be around. What am I gonna do with this bleeding heart? Usually with Bill, I have some money to kind of counteract it, and I mean, we're the muscle. Well, he's the muscle, I try to be the muscle. Just another change. Oh well.
Previously on Misconceptions, the crew returned to Water Treatment Plant 23. And the reason they returned to Water Treatment Plant 23 is to investigate a little further. Esther remembered that she had seen 3 suspicious individuals fleeing from the rubble of the water treatment plant the day of Woodard and Faye's wedding. So the crew returned there to see exactly what these 3 people were doing, and they found a way into the underground beneath the water treatment plant, and they found a well full of mist. And the mist seemed to have a mind of its own as the crew interacted with it, and the mist interacted back, giving strange visions and these visceral feelings that the crew was left to decipher themselves. After seeing these visions and feeling these feelings, Bill and Faye decided, we need to destroy this well. And so they crushed the well with their combined powers, but not before the well lashed out and stole some of their power from them, burning some of their power tags. And then right after that, the 3 suspicious individuals that I mentioned earlier showed up and whooped their collective ass. But not before Faye was able to talk the 3 of them into not whooping their ass, and instead letting them leave and giving them a little bit of information. And the crew found out that these 3 dummies belonged to Miss Minnie. And Faye remembers meeting Miss Minnie, an old southerly woman that she met at the mayoral debate gala so long ago. And then those 3 people ran off. Bill got a call from his wife in hysterics. And Bill realized that he couldn't keep putting his family through this anymore. So he packed up his family, left the city, left the investigation behind, and left Fae and Esther standing in the motel parking lot. Before we begin, and before we find out what Esther and Fae are going to do, it is the start of a new session. And we are in the end game of Mistconceptions, and the Cabal is in the end game of their plan. As such, I have a custom move called End Game. At the beginning of every recording session, I want one of the crew members, to roll 2d6 plus a status that has not been revealed yet. And in fact, it is still at a 0. So, could somebody roll 2d6 plus 0 for me, please, and tell me what you get?
We know how it goes when I roll. So.
Yeah, I'll roll. But also, it could be one of those Nemesis ones that's backwards. I got an 8 plus 0, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I got an 8.
Okay. You rolled an 8 on the end game move. You'll find out what that means later. Let's find out what Fae and Esther are doing. Fae and Esther, you are standing in the motel parking lot with whatever inconspicuous disguise you have. It is very late at night or early in the morning, depending on how you look at it. But you are looking down the long stretch of road, just watching Bill's beat-up car just rattle away until he disappears over the horizon line and out of your lives. What are the two of you doing?
Is there a way we could do maybe a flashback or something? And when Bill was telling us goodbye, he also left the key to the room since the room was still rented, so we had somewhere to go while we waited for a ride.
Sure.
Do I need to roll that?
I mean, we're at the warehouse, right? Do we not want to just... We're not at the warehouse?
No, we're at the motel.
What? You're
in
at the
parking
motel?
lot.
I'm so sorry. You
that.
just said that. You
Severed toe.
just said that.
Oh my gosh.
The motel was a warehouse all along.
Oh my gosh.
I made a mistake.
So I think that Esther heads upstairs to the room.
Okay.
Faye goes with.
Okay. You insert the key card, open up the door. You walk into the room.
So, what now? We've lost half our team.
Well, we're not going to accomplish anything tonight. What does our plan need to be for tomorrow?
Do you want me to call Woodard and see if they could help, and then maybe we can go check out the other wells?
Do I want you to call Woodard so you can talk to Mohammed?
You know, Esther, I'm really trying to include my husband in things. But he's just really busy, okay? So I will call Mohammed.
Call whoever you need to call.
And Faye, as you punch in the numbers on your cell phone and press dial,
boop, boop,
the
beep,
phone starts to ring. Thank you, Carrie, for those sound effects. Now I don't have to go find some. Carrie's my live audience Foley over here. Carrie will be providing. Thank you. Carrie will be providing all of the Foley sound effects for this session. I've said it, so now you have to do it.
On it.
But anyways, the phone starts to ring. And we cut from that scene to another scene in a different location, to a man in a gray suit, a tie kind of loose around his neck. He is sweating. His hair is matted down on his forehead and against his neck. He is clutching a laptop against his chest and just booking it up some stairs. He is breathing heavily. The camera stays stationary as this guy runs past the camera, and we see two figures run into frame. And we have not seen Woodard and Mohammed in their crime-fighting gear. So, Christian, go ahead and think about what does Mohammed wear to conceal his identity while he's being a vigilante, while I describe what Woodard looks like. Woodard has a green hoodie with leather sleeves. He has black pants with lots of cargo pouches on them. He has military boots. He has a gaiter pulled up over his neck and over his mouth to hide his identity. Mohammed, how do you look?
Mohammed has a similar hoodie. It's purple, though. And on his head, he wears a very cartoony bear mask. Like a Halloween, teddy bear mask.
Nice.
And he's just barreling up these stairs.
And as Woodard runs up the stairs, he makes a fist with his hand and slaps the palm of his hand against his fist, and a spectral bow appears in his hand. And as he pulls back one hand, a spectral arrow appears, and he lets it fly, trying to hit the hedge fund manager. But just as it's going to hit this dude in the back, the door opens up, and some goons rush out into the stairwell. Look at their boss running up the staircase, look down at you, and they grab batons and flick them out and run down to meet the two of you. Woodard looks up at your target. He says, "Damn it, Mohammed, we have to get him quick. He cannot get to that helipad."
Yeah. I'm on it, boss. Mohammed is gonna climb up onto the railing of the stairs and jump and try to grab onto the railing above and pull himself up a flight.
Ooh. Let's roll a take the risk.
So I'm going to use my athletic tag.
Okay.
And I'm thinking that's probably the only thing I can use, actually.
All right, so roll 2d6 plus 1.
Oh, double sixes, what?
Oh my gosh, Mohammed is
13.
here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Mohammed, describe for us how you get up these stairs.
Yeah, so Mohammed sees these goons ahead on the stairwell, and he just kind of climbs up on the railing, jumps, hooks one arm on it, and just pulls himself, and you just see him fly up to the next railing.
Yeah, and I think, oh man, with a 12, I think you land in front of this guy.
Oh. Okay.
And he stutter steps down a few steps, clutching his laptop, looking up at your childish bear mask, which just makes this scene even more terrifying. As a flight below, Woodard does this cool thing where he jumps up on the railing and then kicks off that railing to knee a dude in the face, just as he is shooting another guy with his arrow in the chest. So Woodard is engaging these goons. What do you do?
I'm gonna grab the guy and just start running up the stairs. Woodard, I've got him. Let's go.
And it would make sense for y'all not to use your real names. I know Woodard called you Mohammed earlier, but we should definitely change that. So what pen pal names do y'all have for each other? What's your code names?
I'm thinking one word. So he could he'll call Mohammed Teddy, and then Mohammed will call him Fletcher.
Fletcher?
Yeah. Fletcher.
I like it. So Teddy and Fletcher, yeah. Okay, so you go to grab the hedge fund manager, but he's not just going to let you grab him, so go ahead and roll a go toe-to-toe.
Good to go. All right. I'm going to use athletic and bear hug.
Yeah, that works. Go toe-to-toe with a +2.
That is a 10.
A 10, all right. So You get to choose 2 of these. You achieve your goal, you get them good and give them a status, or you block, dodge, or counter their best attempts. Which of those 2 do you choose?
Okay. I'm going to achieve my goal and block their best attempts.
That's all right. Very smart. So, like you said, you grab him and start booking it up the stairwell. And Woodard is slugging it out with these goons. He says, "Right behind you, Teddy!" Right as one dude knocks him across the jaw up against the wall. Mohammed, do you keep running?
Yeah, he's gonna keep running. Trying just to get to the roof.
Okay. You rush up, leaving Woodard to fight the goons by himself. And I think you reach the helipad level, and you get there, and you already see there is a helicopter. The blades are whirring. There's a pilot in the seat, and you see that 2 goons are already up here, waiting to escort their boss onto the helicopter. They look at each other. They look back at you. Do you say anything?
I'll be taking that helicopter. You can just get out of my way.
They pull their handguns, point them at you, and say, "Drop him!"
I am going to hold him in front of me and then kind of stomp on the ground, and my street sign's going to shoot up out of the roof.
What do you mean street sign, Christian?
So, Mohammed has to have a staff. So, he has acquired this sign that he just stole off of the street, and it is the corner of Sherwood and Nottingham. So he stomps on the ground. You see this metal pole pop up. It's a little bit bent in places, and you see the 2 crisscrossed green signs saying Sherwood and Nottingham on the top.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a risk. Let's see if you can get to that helicopter.
So yeah, I'm running forward, just trying to knock them out of my way, I guess. So I'm going to use Wallop, and I'll use Weighed and Measured, as if I'm kind of watching what they're doing and taking the moment to find a spot to hit them where they won't be able to evade it as well.
Yeah, go ahead and roll take the risk. +2.
Just out of transparency, I would argue that Cumbersome could be used as a weakness tag here because I'm trying to use this staff one-handed.
Ooh, you're right. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll with a +1, but you do get 1 attention to your street sign.
Ooh, so that's an 8.
Okay, I'll give you a choice.
Okay.
You either make it to the helicopter, but you have to roll a face danger against a gunshot wound 3 status, or you dodge their attack but lose your hold on the target.
So do I face danger against the status, or I just take it?
You will get to face a danger.
Okay.
Anytime you take a status that you can defend yourself from, you can roll a face danger.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna try to hang on to him then and take the chance on that.
All right. So go ahead and roll a face danger against a shot up 3 status, and you cannot add your 2 tags that you just used, Wallop and Weighted and Measured.
Right. Tell you what, as I get closer, could I semi-transform into my bear form just enough to bulk up a little bit to try to absorb some of the blow and use it as a tag?
Yeah, you totally could.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to use that.
Your Ursine transformation?
My Ursine transformation, yeah. So I'll use that just to try to throw a +1 on that.
Okay.
7.
A 7, okay. Okay, so you take a shot up 2 status.
Shot up 2.
So as you're charging forward, this dude's slung over your shoulder. You are swinging your street sign in front of you. You swing it at one dude, and he ducks and rolls to the side. His shot goes wide, but the other on the other side hits you in the side, scraping across your ribs, and then you jump into the helicopter. The pilot looks back at you with wide eyes.
I'm gonna put the street sign up against his neck. Hey, start taking off.
Yeah, I think he, with that leveled against his neck, like you have the cross of the street signs, like in between on either side of his neck. And he goes, and he starts to push that lever forward. The helicopter takes off the helipad, and right as you are hovering up in the air, the two guards shooting bullets at the helicopter. Woodard busts through the door. His one sleeve is like torn. His hood is thrown back. He's breathing heavily. His gaiter is like lopsided on his face. And he looks at you in the helicopter, and we see him sigh and say, "Oh, damn it, Mohammed. You can't make this easy on me, can you?" And he charges forward. And as he charges forward, he knees one dude in the back, lands on top of him. The guard turns around to shoot at him, shoots. The bullet hits him in the shoulder. Woodard lets out a scream. Are you doing anything from the helicopter?
Alright. When I see him come out of the door, I'm gonna shove the hedge fund manager into a seat and forcefully buckle him in. And then I'm going to just lean out of the helicopter and just roar, and then reach my arm down to try to catch Woodard if he can jump up there.
Okay. What are you trying to accomplish here?
I'm trying to... So yeah, I'm reaching down as far as I can reach to give him a lower target to jump to try to get into this helicopter.
Okay.
And then the roar is to kind of startle the other, like the guards or whatever, to to kind of give them less chance to hit us while we're trying to get away.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a change the game with that bestial roar then.
8?
An 8. Okay, so you get 1 juice, and you can use that juice to create a story tag, burn a power tag or story tag, or give or reduce a status. And the way... So it says burn a power tag or story tag, and really only players have story tags and power tags, but you can use that option on dangers as long as it's like you can remove a move from them. So these guys have a move called shoot you up.
Gotcha.
So you could describe it as you saying like you scare him and burn his shoot you up status. So he like drops his gun or something like that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Do you like go through any sort of transformation as you let out this roar?
Yeah, so as I see Woodard running, I see him get shot. I like lean out the side of this helicopter, and you just see the hair from my beard ripple, and then my entire face and neck is just transforms into a bear head essentially, and you just hear this echoing roar out of this helicopter.
Yeah. And that guard fumbles with his gun, drops it on the ground, and as he goes to pick it up, he like kicks it further away from him. And Woodard gets up running, holding his shoulder, and you can't hear him over the whirring of the blaze, but he's pointing down as he's running.
Oh, okay. So Mohammed, seeing that, is going to lean back in to the pilot and say, "Get over the edge, just underneath it."
And still stuttering and stammering, and he lowers the helicopter down. It disappears over the edge, and Woodard jumps, sailing through the air. And we have like this distant shot where we see the night sky behind the helicopter and the top of this helipad, and Woodard flying through the air. And then we cut to inside the helicopter. Woodard hits the interior, rolls and thuds against the other door of the helicopter. And then he looks up at your target. He says, Hello, Mr. Henderson. I would like to have a talk with you. We cut from that scene to the helicopter has landed. The pilot is tied up to some sort of pipes on top of this roof. And Mohammed and Woodard are interrogating their target. And Mohammed, let me know if you like this, but I like the thought of you holding the hedge fund manager like out over the city, like on the edge of the building, Batman style, and you and Woodard are asking him questions.
Yeah, I'm good with that. No, oh wait, no,
Okay.
I got it. I'm full bear form. His foot is in my mouth, and I'm hanging him over the edge.
Okay, I like it. Whenever you transform, what happens to like all your materials and everything?
So, the cloth and stuff is still there, but there's like fur poking around it really like heavily. So, like it stretches to its limit, and then yeah.
Okay. So during this investigation scene, that is when Faye's call is going to be coming through on Mohammed's phone. So Woodard is going to be interrogating this dude, and I would like either Tessa or Carrie to interrupt me with a like phone call noise while Woodard is doing this investigation.
Oh, you,
Who would
Carrie,
like to
you're
do
the
that?
sound effect person.
Yeah, I did
come
designate
on.
you as the human Foley.
Give me
for
a job
this.
and then you just try to take it away.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I like that. So, Muhammad in full bear form, his neck outstretched to the city, this guy dangling in his jaws. Woodard is bleeding and torn up, but he is sitting on the edge of this building, like with one leg up and one elbow resting on the knee, the other leg dangling down, and he's just kind of reclining. He says, Mr. Henderson, it has been so difficult to make an appointment with you, but I hear that you are the best hedge fund manager in the city, and quite a few of your clients are very wealthy people. Is that true, Mr. Henderson? Now, Mr. Henderson, I'm going to need you to stop stammering so much so you can answer some of my questions. I'll ask you again. Are some of your clients the most wealthy people in this city? He says, yeah, I guess. Excellent. And is it true that you have the...
Ring, ring.
A phone rings out in the night. Woodard looks at Mohammed in bear form.
He kind of turns his head a little bit back towards his pocket.
And Woodard rolls his eyes, lets it ring a couple times until it goes to voicemail. And then he turns back to Mr. Henderson. As I was saying, Mr. Henderson, I would like to have the routing numbers.
Ring, ring, ring.
Woodard looks back at Mohammed.
Mohammed makes eye contact this time.
Are you serious right now? You didn't put it on silent again.
Mohammed drags the guy back onto the roof, puts a paw on him, and just transforms back about halfway. So he's still furrier than normal and bigger than normal, but he's just got a big, meaty paw on this guy. I don't know. And he just pulls it out. It's your wife.
It's what? Are you serious right now?
Ring, ring, ring.
Teddy, could you please answer your phone?
I'll transform back completely and just kind of step on Mr. Henderson. Hello?
Mohammed, what are you doing?
We're in the middle of something right now. What do you need, Faye?
Oh, Woodard's there.
Yeah?
Okay, good. So there's been a bit of a problem, and me and Esther are stranded at a motel.
Uh-huh.
Can you come get us?
Can it wait?
I mean, we do have keys to said motel, but we are also wanted, so we can hide in this room for a little bit. Is it really that urgent?
He looks down at Mr. Henderson and then back up at Woodard. Yeah, I think it might be a little bit.
Yeah, Woodard, puts his hands out to either side, wrap it up!
Woodard's telling me to hang up the phone.
Oh, is he now?
Well, I
Well,
call
guess
you back,
should
Faye.
go ahead and do that then.
Click.
Yeah.
Woodard looks at you and says, "Is everything all right, Teddy?"
Yeah, Fletcher, but maybe we should wrap this up.
Are you going to get a phone call from Grubhub or something like that?
Hey, she's your wife.
It doesn't matter that she's calling you. It matters that your phone wasn't on silent again.
Listen.
Is this guy still
We've
dangling from
Oh, yeah. No, he's not dangling. He's just being stepped on the floor now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom is just looking down. Maybe it's not the right time. Can we finish this?
Yeah, Mr. Henderson looks up at you and says, "Hey, if you guys want to work this out, I mean, I can just go."
I lift my foot and step down again.
Now, Mr. Henderson, as I was saying, those routing numbers. Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 81 of Misconceptions. I'm your host, David White, and we're back from the crossover episodes with Sins of the Father. And if you have not listened to those yet, you really should. Those 4 episodes had a lot of really fun and great energy, combining the chaoticness of Sins of the Father with the energy from Misconceptions was just the best kind of experiment. And those of you that listened, I hope that you really enjoyed them, because boy howdy, we really had a fun time recording them. But enough about the crossover episodes. Let's get back to Misconceptions. And as is apparent by this episode, we have brought on Christian to reprise his role as Mohammed. He is going to be our token male character for the show going forward, and he is injecting a lot of really good energy, bringing great role-playing talent to Mohammed, back to Misconceptions. I am very excited to have Christian back as Mohammed, and I'll also say that we have recorded quite a bit ahead of episode 81, and oh boy, y'all are in for a ride. That is all I'll say about that. A little bit of housekeeping stuff. As you know, we do have a Patreon, and our Patreon pays for the amazing sound effects and ambiance and music we have in each episode. It also pays our performers just a little bit for their hard work on each episode, and we are currently trying to get to $500 a month. At $500 a month, we will be able to pay our editors for the extra work they put in to each episode, making it sound as good as it does. So if you would like Marlo and Tessa and myself to receive a pay raise for each episode that we edit, please help us get to $500 a month. And if you have not checked out our Patreon yet, I cannot highly suggest enough the $5 a month level. $5 a month is not that great an amount, but it will go a big way to helping us reach our goal. And at the $5 amount, you get access to Side Quest, our patron-only series that features rotating casts and stories and RPG systems. And we get very experimental over there, and we have fun. And right now, we are running the Curse of Strahd, but not in D&D, but in the Crystal Heart setting, created by up to 4 players, based on their very popular Crystal Heart webcomic, very popular and very good webcomic. It's using the Savage Worlds rules, and we're having a lot of fun doing that. And you know what? Why don't we listen to a little preview clip of that series and see if that's something you're interested in, huh?
Oi, we're taking a rest.
What do y'all do for this brief respite?
Lulu is gathering mushrooms.
Remember what I said. The wolves.
Rutger kind of brandishes a rifle from their back and kind of starts cleaning it. Like I said, not afraid of any wolves.
Wolves? What were we were talking about wolves?
And at that moment, you hear a distant wolf cry.
Those wolves. So I reach in over Rutger's seat and grab my staff and put it down next to me.
Rutger, you have a brand new heart.
And we should probably test it out.
If you want to hear more of the Crystal Heart of Strahd, go to our Patreon, click the link below in the show notes right now. Go give just a measly $5 a month, and you'll get access to the Crystal Heart of Strahd, along with our Cyberpunk series, our Animal Crossing series, our Fear Itself series, and a lot of other really great series that I personally really enjoyed making. Well, that is all the show keeping notes out of the way. Let's get back to the show, and let's see how Fae and Esther are going to mingle with Woodard and Mohammed as the new members of their crew. We cut from this scene to the motel as Mohammed and Woodard are pulling up in Mohammed's car. Fae or Esther, who would be the first to see them?
Esther's laid out on the bed with her hands behind her head.
And they lay down on the bed. Faye's definitely pacing by the window, watching for them.
Could you stop doing that?
No, I cannot. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but things are kind of crashing around us.
I mean, the 4 walls are standing.
You hear a loud
gosh.
pop, almost like a gunshot, as Muhammad's car kind of backfires and parks in a and parks out in the middle of the parking lot.
They're here, let's go.
Esther gets up and heads out of the room.
Okay.
Faye angrily walks out of the room and heads straight to the car and gets in the back seat and scoots over and looks at Woodard. Is he still all bloodied up?
Yes. And I think he's still in his vigilante gear, so he has his hood off and his gaiter down. And he, as you slam the door behind you, he turns stiffly around, and you can see the blood on his shoulder. You can see the bruising on his cheeks and a swollen eye.
1, I hope you are okay, and we will be dealing with this when we get home. 2, I know that we are both out fighting crime, but we have a rule that when the other calls someone, you don't tell someone else to hang up on them.
Esther leans up and pats him on the shoulder. Nice job, dumbass.
He winces. Thank you for that, Esther. Darling, I was in the middle of the culmination of weeks of nightly stakeouts and bruises and fighting and interrogations. I'm sorry that we didn't have time for your phone call.
Yeah, Faye, we're kind of still in the middle of it. And he reaches back and pulls down the little middle seat thing in the back seat. And you can see Mr. Henderson with a beanie pulled down over his eyes. He's tied up. And he's got like a sock in his mouth with a necktie wrapped around his face to hold it there. He just closes it again.
Bloody hell. What are you doing? Can we just get home, please? Also, I'm very angry at you, but I'm also very proud of you. And you're doing good work, and I hope you are okay. That is all. And she, crosses her arms and sits back and, looks out the side window.
Esther rolls her eyes. Are we going somewhere, or are we sitting in the parking lot?
Mohammed doesn't say anything at this point. He just... and goes on.
And as Mohammed's car trundles away, we cut to the super secret cottage deep in the city park. I would assume that since it's so deep in the city park, Mohammed's car can't get here.
We established this in the past, that there is a spot for his car that we've created.
Okay. Well, we cut to the exterior shot of the cottage, and we see your car pulled up. And then we cut inside.
And you just hear some, clattering around. And then a thump, a door close, and he walks back out.
So what are y'all doing?
You are both aware how Ren left a couple days ago. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Bill decided to leave tonight as well.
For what reason?
He needed to go be with his family.
I mean, you can't fault him for that.
No. No, not at all. He has his family back. He has his wife and child, and that's who he needs to be with. And Faye shrugs, but is visibly upset and clearly trying to keep it together.
It's what he's been fighting for all along. If only we could all get happy endings. And you see a little tear, he wipes it away.
Is that Esther clearing her throat?
Mm-hmm.
Where is Esther at?
Esther is sitting in a recliner in the living room.
Okay.
She knows she's going to have to sit through this whole heartfelt conversation.
Esther, how are you feeling about all of this?
Esther, tell us your feelings.
Esther doesn't have feelings. They were bred out of her by her father.
There wasn't any anger there.
No. She shrugs and she's like, I mean, it's definitely not ideal, but we still have work to do.
Point made. So the problem is, I mean, I know clearly, and as Faye is talking, she goes just naturally, she's kind of talking louder as she moves in and out of the house. And she's grabbing the different, very flashback to season 1. She's making the tea, grabbing the bandages, and piecing Woodard back together as she's talking.
Can I interject one thing? So when you open the pantry to get the tea out, the bottom of it has been cleared out, and there's just a guy, Mr. Henderson.
Oh. So sorry. I'm going to need to close the door back on you now. So she's bandaging Woodard up. The problem is that now, it's just me and Esther. And while we are both badasses, Esther more than me, let's be honest.
Esther nods her head to this comment.
Yeah, Esther nods her head, and her nose is also broken right now.
Faye's not bandaging her up.
Oh, good grief. What is Esther's beef with Faye today? After Faye fixes Woodard up, she goes to fix Esther up.
And Esther shrugs her off.
Oh my gosh.
So, Tessa, what were you saying?
I'm so sorry.
It's all good. Faye just throws the gauze pads like on the floor next to Esther. Not aggressively, but it's just like do it yourself while continuing to talk.
Don't make a roll. You'll break my nose even more.
The problem now is I know you are both doing your own work, but we need your help. And she smiles.
Mohammed glances at Woodard. You know, things are getting a lot harder to do on our own. Maybe it's time we join the teams up.
What? No. We've been... You all... I'm sorry, Faye, not to diminish your mission, but your mission is not our mission. We are on two separate paths. There is no combining the teams here. There's a duo that has been doing what we've been doing for the past 2 years, and what you have been doing.
I know, darling, and again, your mission is just as important, but I don't know what you want us to do in this situation. I mean, we need the extra set of hands. Yes, Esther and I are just as strong, but also we're not, and we need your help, but we are feminists. But also, can you please help us?
Faye, you know I love you, but I can't just abandon this mission. I can't.
Okay. I understand. Then can we take Mohammed?
Mohammed's just kind of looking at between the two of them like a kid whose parents are trying to decide who gets him in the divorce. But he looks over at Woodard. You know, you don't have to give up your mission to help each other out.
What do you mean, Mohammed? Once again, we are doing two separate things. As good as I am at what I do, I cannot be in two separate places at once. We were pursuing Mr. Henderson tonight to get the bank routing numbers. They were doing something else. We were in two different parts of the city. And every moment that I am not pursuing these people, they are profiting off of other people's misery and widening the wealth gap when that wealth could be used to make this city and this world a much better place. And, Woodard is about to go on his full spiel of robbing the rich, tax the rich, eat the rich.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, dear, we are all aware. We all know. Could it be that these are all connected?
What do you mean?
In your investigation, you have come across a lot of the same people that we have. The people who are in control are the ones who seem to have all of the money. They're the same people.
Woodard ponders on this.
She reaches out and grabs his hand. We're fighting the same fight.
Esther and Mohammed, do you say anything?
Mohammed's just kind of looking towards the ground, and he kind of mumbles, not quite under his breath, loud enough for them to hear, but not like speaking out. What happens when one of you dies and the other one's not there?
Esther takes her head out of her hands and just looks wide-eyed.
Is it fair to say that both Woodard and Faye turn around in a synchronized motion to look at Mohammed?
Yes, with wide eyes.
We both turn around. Woodard says, Jesus, Mohammed, what are you talking about?
We both got shot today. We survived. But maybe it won't always be that way. It's not my place to say. I need to make some spinach puffs. I'm gonna go walk into the kitchen.
Woodard turns back to you, Faye. Alright, I suppose we can help you out. But I made an oath, Faye. And I'm not gonna break that oath.
I will help you honor it.
Alright. I am going to go get some ibuprofen from the kitchen. I'm going to go lie down. Please let me know when Mohammed's spinach puffs are ready, because I am famished.
That's lovely, honey. There's a man in the pantry.
Ah, yes.
Yes, if you could handle that, that would be grand. I mean, maybe take a nap first. I'm not really sure. It just doesn't seem like it's a very comfy place for him to be in the pantry. And she starts, explaining all of this to Woodard.
Yeah, and he says, "My dear, it may shock you to find out that I don't give a damn about the comfort of capitalist pigs." Then he disappears into the bathroom to get ibuprofen.
Well, I give a small damn, but that's okay. And she goes and sits on the couch next to Esther's recliner, just silently.
Yeah. So we cut forward. So we see the next night as the scene opens up. It's a busy road. The last time you were here at 123 Blanco Street, it was a tenement building. You were here to make sure that Mrs. Williams and the other tenants of 123 Blanco Street were not thrown out with not a penny to their name from their building by the landlord, Mr. Biggs. Or no, Mr. Smalls. Mr. Biggs runs a completely different business. Mr. Smalls was going to throw these people out on the street, and you were there to stop it. You did stop it, and then Mrs. Williams ended up killed in her apartment. I don't think you knew the outcome of what happened at 123 Blanco Street, but that tenement building is gone. It is replaced with a water treatment plant. And you see it is a squat building nestled between two other buildings, and there is a glass window on it, and it has the city insignia on it, and it says Water Treatment Plant number 16, and you are standing outside of 123 Blanco Street. What do you do?
Faye looks to I guess we're in the car. So Faye looks...
You sure?
Okay, Faye looks to everyone. Ready?
Are we in the right place?
Yeah, this is definitely the place.
Woodard pulls up his gaiter and pulls up his hood. Says, "Masks on, everyone."
Yeah, Mohammed pulls out his rubber teddy bear mask and just bloop.
Woodard and Mohammed turn to look at the two of you in the back seat.
Esther pulls up her collar.
Faye says, "We don't have masks, dear."
You've been doing this for almost 2 years, and you don't have a disguise.
Yeah, we're that good.
Well, this explains why they're wanted.
I was just about to say, and Woodard opens up the car door and steps out. As you all step out of the car, you check your peripheries. A few people on the street, but fairly quiet night. And Woodard turns to the three of you and says, "All right, so what's the plan?" And before he can finish it, there is a deafening boom. Water treatment plant 16 explodes, glass shattering out from the window, the four walls blowing up. And as it does, you see it's not a normal fiery explosion. Instead, what you see issue forth from the ruins is this, like, tornado. Mist coiling and whipping around itself, rising higher and higher, and as it goes higher and higher, it spreads further and further outwards. It all happens in a matter of seconds. You don't even have time to dive for cover as the wall of mist pushes and hits against you, and the screen cuts to black. End of episode. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Misconceptions. We'll be back with our next episode on April 19th. If you have a Facebook and or a Twitter, we are on both of those social media platforms if you would like to contact us that way. We also have an email, misconceptionspod@gmail.com, if you would like to contact us that way. We also have a Discord. If you would like to chat with us or chat with other friends of the show, please click the link below to join our Discord. Our show is fully supported by the generous monthly donations of our patrons on Patreon. If you would like to join that elite group of backers to support this show, please click the link below. City of Mist is an RPG created by Son of Oak. You can find more of their products at sonofoak.com. The Misconceptions theme music was composed by Aaron Wharton. You can find more of his music at aaronwharton.net. Misconceptions is a product of the Mistconceptions Podcast Network. And that is it for this week's episode of Misconceptions. Welcome back to the regular story. I hope you're ready for everything that is about to happen, and I also hope that you keep it nerdy, y'all.